All right, today we're going to be talking about and working with the distance formula. And we're going to say on the coordinate plane. Distance between 2 points on the coordinate plane can be determined by the distance formula. And we're going to say that distance between 2 points is equal to, all right, big square root of, in parentheses, x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. So let's say that we've got a x and y axis here. And we got a point at 2, 3. We'll call this point A. And then let's see, let's go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's go 8. Let's put point B up here at 8, 7. And if you were asked to find AB, find AB means find the length of segment AB. You got to find the length of this segment right here. So if you're given the coordinates of these 2 points and you're asked to find the distance between them or the length of the segment, I would label the points first. Meaning, I'm going to go to point A and I'm going to call this 2 x sub 1 and the 3 is the y sub 1. Just like you did in the midpoint formula. We started the midpoint formula the same way. We labeled the points. So this would be our x sub 2 and y sub 2. And then you take those values and you substitute them into this formula. So if we have to find AB, the length of segment AB, AB is going to be equal to square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So that's going to be 8 minus 2 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1. That's 7 minus 3 squared. Now, if you've gotten your calculator yet, you could type that straight into the calculator just the way that you see it. But you would have to push the square root button last. So anyway, here's what this would look like. If you take 8 minus 2. Hello? Hey, yeah. Yeah, sure. Thanks. Never mind. 8 minus 2 is 6, and 6 squared is 36. We're going to add that to 7 minus 3 is 4. 4 squared is 16. And the square root of 36 plus 16, 7.21. All right, so AB is equal to 7.21 units. All right. So if these coordinates were a foot apart on the coordinate plane, then this segment would be 7 feet long. If the coordinates on the coordinate plane here were a mile apart, well then segment AB would be 7.21 miles. So it's that distance in whatever unit of measure your coordinate plane is in. Everybody understand that? Simple enough? All right, I do want to do another example where a lot of mistakes are made in the distance formula. It's a fairly simple formula, but when you get negative coordinates is when mistakes are made. So we're going to do an example now with all negative coordinates. So we're going to let's change this coordinate plane up a little bit. And here's our X and Y. And let's go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. We'll go -6. All right, so let's put point A at -6, -8. Point B this time will be at -3, -2. And if we're asked to find the distance from A to B, segment AB is going to be equal to the square root of, all right, let me label my points. Now, it doesn't matter which point you start with when you're labeling. It doesn't matter if you start with B or A. So I'll start with B this time. Here's my X sub 1 and my Y sub 1, and then my X sub 2 and Y sub 2. So the formula is X sub 2 minus X sub 1. So our X sub 2 is -6 minus -3 squared plus Y sub 2, which is -8, minus Y sub 1, which is -2 squared. Now, when you're subtracting a negative, all right, when you're subtracting a negative, look, this formula calls for subtraction. X sub 2 minus X sub 1 and Y sub 2 minus Y sub 1. Make sure that if your coordinates are negative, that you're subtracting a negative. All right? Make sure that if your coordinates are negative, you are subtracting a negative. Now, subtracting a negative is the same as addition, right? Did anybody teach you keep, change, change? We can make both of these positive and both of these positive. So what we're left with here is the square root of -6 plus 3. -6 plus 3 is -3. And -3 squared is 9. -8 plus 2 is -6, and -6 squared is 36. And the square root of 9 plus 36, that's the square root of 45. And the square root of 45 is 6.71. All right, so AB is equal to 6.71. That is the length of segment AB. Any questions on finding the distance between 2 points? All right, your assignment for today on page 31. One second. Problems 19 through 30. Page 31, problems 19 through 30. Make sure that you show all your work. Show all your work. These are going in the basket when the bell rings.